Hi guys, so today I'm just going to be giving my first thoughts on the Evo HA, which is new to the AFS range, and how it compares to the Enduro. So I did a side-by-side comparison today for the first day of our AFS demo weekend. So I'm going to try to do this as a one-take video. So first thoughts on the Evo HA. This thing gets up crazy early. You can see it's got really nice camber on the back of the foil there. It was just super smooth takeoff. I mean, so down there today at Hailing Island, it was, I don't know, 12 knots. So it was a good test trying out the 1000 Evo HA, the 750 Evo HA, and then I did a comparison between the Evo HA 1000 and the Enduro 1100. So Evo HA, super smooth takeoff. It was just clean up onto the foil, didn't take much pumping at all. And once you're up, you're just not coming off that foil again. Its stall speed, you don't really find the stall speed. You stall out when you stop. So this thing just pumps forever. So what I loved about it, it was super smooth, super responsive, and you didn't have to be too light with the pumping. A lot of high aspect foils, sometimes if you pump it too hard, you find that you just start to lose that speed out quite quickly. Now with the 750, that was kind of the case. You have to be quite gentle with the pumping. I mean, 12 knots, there's not really any swell or anything. So this in a bit of swell is going to be an absolute machine. I feel like you can just keep going and going and going. So it's like a flagging out and going along swell foil. If you just want to do that straight line swell run, like up and down wind runs, these are the foils to go for. The other thing I found, it was maneuverable. I didn't think it'd be that maneuverable. You could turn it, so the 1000 not as much. The 750 definitely a lot more, but that just comes with a shorter span. But yeah, it wanted to go. The 750 felt a tiny bit slippy, but you are getting to a smaller foil, so that's going to be the case. But I just found super smooth riding. Once you were going along, it felt pretty steady. I mean, I'm used to high aspect foils, so for me it felt steady. I know compared to the Enduro was definitely a smoother ride. It's when you were carving about the Enduro, it just felt super safe. Like it felt like someone sort of like hugging you. They're just like, you're not going to fall in when you're carving this about. Then with this, it was like, whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. A tiny bit more about the Evo HA. The initial speed on this was brilliant. You can't push it. Well, there wasn't enough wind to really try pushing it. I will try it again and give a full-on review in higher winds. But I found the initial speed after sort of lifting up onto the foil, you got going quite well. But then when you went to push it, that's where the Enduro takes it. Yeah, I think it's just the main thing this foil was going to be for is those people who just love that pump and glide, wanting to getting into downwinders, but having a foil that you're just not going to have to worry about it coming back down again because you've just got that super low stall speed. So I'll just go through the comparisons between the two now. So the Enduro 1100 versus the Evo 1000. Evo, definitely quicker to get up onto the foil. You needed to work the Enduro a tiny bit more, but again, the Enduro feels way more friendly. The Evo, the initial speed, you got going a bit quicker. So that initial speed to just start you going once you're up onto the foil, definitely more there, but you can definitely push the Enduro a lot more. So that top end on the Enduro definitely a lot better. For stability wise, the Enduro takes it, but this is, especially in the 750, definitely a lot looser. You still can turn it, but the Enduro just felt a lot nicer to turn. It felt like you had that sort of safety leash on carving it about. So I was holding on to the wing, so just snaking the wings about. And yeah, the Enduro just felt a lot steadier on that. Although, as I said a few times now, the Evo did do it. So yeah, top speed Evo takes it. Bottom end, the Evo takes it. The Evo HA takes it. So yeah, I guess then some similarities. But for pumping it, the Evo with a gentle pumping technique, so not being too aggressive with your pumping, will just go forever. I mean, that's what I found. I was just pumping it about. It was pretty flat. I was going upwind, downwind, just pumping about all over the place. Evo definitely takes the win there. But the Enduro, especially with the 1100 or the 1300, you can still pump it for ages, really. I mean, I use the 1100 as my light wind foil, and then the 1300 for the bigger guy, and now they've got the 1600 as well, but that's out of the equation. That would demolish this in a pump off. You can be a tiny bit more aggressive with the pumping, but you will reach a point eventually where if you get a tiny bit too slow, you're going to come off the foil. But if you've got a bit of swell to help you, or you're really efficient with your pumping, even if it's aggressive pumping, the Enduro takes it. Where I think the main differences are going to come into play with this foil is when you get to something like the 900 Enduro versus the 1000 Evo. This is going to have way more glide. This is going to be much faster, much more playful. But then for the pumping side of it, you're going to be able to get the Evo HA going for a lot longer. The Enduro 900, just where it doesn't have that span, you're losing a bit of surface area. You're just losing out. I know this is then smaller and the 1100 is bigger, so that's where you sort of just got to compare the two. But yeah, I think for the low end, this takes it compared to the 900, but then obviously the 900 Enduro, there's people pushing them to like 25 knots, so you can really push this. Whereas I haven't been able to reach the top end of this yet because it was so light today. But I just feel like it's not going to feel as steady for those top speeds. Now, when you get down to the sizings of stuff like the 750 Evo HA versus the 700 Enduro, 700 Enduro is going to feel a lot more stable for carving it about and turning it. The Evo HA, I'm never going to get the 700 Enduro up in 12 knots. I got this up and going with a 5 meter wing on an 85 litre mid-length. This just does it. It wants to go. It's super smooth takeoff again, whereas the Enduro is just a tiny bit more twitchy. This will smooth riding once you're up on the foil. And like I said in the Enduro review, going through all the different sizes of the Enduro, this just feels like it wants to go off, be really playful. This will smooth riding, but you still could then carve it about and it pumps really nicely. I don't think the Enduro 700 is too good for pumping. In big swell or waves, so in waves, Enduro takes it. In swell, I think the 750 Evo HA is going to take it, just because you can have those long glidey sections, pump between a section, get back onto it again, and you're good to go. In waves, more playful. I think it's going to handle being overfoiled a lot better, but then it's a twitchier feeling foil compared to this. So yeah, I mean, that is it really. If you have any other questions about it, I might have missed a few things, but I guess the key points, I've probably said this about 100 times now. The Enduro definitely feels more stable in comparison until you get to the smaller sizes. So the 1100 and 1300 are going to feel more stable than the 1000 Evo HA. When you get to the 900, I'm still going to compare it to the 1000 Evo HA. I would pick the Evo HA unless you're going in waves or wanting to get a bit more speed. Then I think Enduro takes it. And going to the 750 versus 700 Enduro, it really depends what you're doing. So I think, yeah, there's crossovers on these foils, but there's definitely some key differences. It's depending on what you're doing, whether you're in waves, whether you're in swell, whether you're going for light wind, or whether you want a stable foil. I think it really varies throughout the range, but I can see benefits of going for each one. And I mean, this is it for the AFS range. Each foil, I just see benefits for. But yeah, I'm going to take them out again tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get some more footage. I will just add a few clips of me out today into the video. There's not many, but yeah, that's the Evo HA first thoughts and the Evo HA compared to the Enduro. Hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one.